In 1988, the government phased off the pig farm in Pongo. So we have 4 brothers intend to come into the goat farm. Okay, this is how we started the goat farm. Because the government facing the pig away, so we got no farm to do. So we have to convert something regarding all these animals. So we tried venture in the goat farm. So we tried, 1988 we tried in the Pongo, our pig farm first, before we shift here.
The goats that we source from are either from Australia, New Zealand or US. These are the 3 sources that we source from. The country that we source from, they experience 4 seasons, but us, we're only tropical country. So for us, if you have seen our goats, you realize that compared to these goats on the boards, they look very different. Because in the farm here, we cross and we mix the breeds because of the climate. If I were to keep a specific kind of goat, a purebred goat, she will not be able to withstand the tropical heat. So through my dad's years of experience, okay, we realized that through mixing certain breeds of goat, it gives us a good yield of milk. At the same time, the animal is sturdy enough to withstand our tropical weather. If you were to Google the word pasteurize, okay, so Google will tell you pasteurization is just a generic word. There's a lot of different types of pasteurization in the world. So for us, we keep it simple. We just use a very low temperature to pasteurize the milk at 75 degrees for 15 seconds. And after that, immediately we bring the milk temperature down to 4 degrees in 15 seconds. And during this process, we do not add any stabilizers, additives or any preservatives. Nothing is added. So whatever the mummy goat gives us, we will give you back almost like 90% intact. So this process will just remove the surface bacteria. So it's to make the milk safe for us human consumption, and also the nutrients, the proteins are all basically alive for you to drink. So that's where my customers benefit most of it. And also the feed that we use, okay, like the grains that they eat, the hay that they consume, okay, we also source from sources that are certified like pesticide-free, hormone-free, GMO, GMM-free, and they don't use any growth hormones or any enhancers. So the things that they eat are as organic as possible. We do conduct a lot of school excursions. We have age groups ranging from preschool all the way to tertiary institutions. From the 30 years that we have been doing this, we do get very numerous feedbacks from the students themselves and from the educators themselves that even though we always say that we are first world nation, we are a developed nation, okay, but there is still a handful of citizens that will not be able to simply buy a ticket and then they fly over to like Australia or even Europe to go and see this kind of agricultural scenes. People also will be like wondering why one red dot like us can have a livestock farm in the small island of us. So it's also we also do have a lot of tourists, a lot of farmers from Western nations. When they come over and they see, hey, you've done this, it's like very different. They can even say, why are your animals look happier than mine? I guess being a Singaporean, we always find our way to do things uniquely Singaporean.
What farmer think is that Singapore should have some farm stable to let our children, to have some education, and as well as at least we got something to stay back, to secure a bit of our food security. Farming, every country is important because it's food security. So we at least need some, I already told you, need some farm to stabilize. As well as now government is doing in Singapore, they are more keen in veggie, fish, chicken, because this is more, as what they say, more consumed by the human. For meal, for other than that, other things, they are not really so important. Like you eat a laksa or fried kway teow. Without the eggs, you cannot make it. Without the taugeh, you cannot make it. Right? All these are inside one thing. Like we make cake. Without dairy, you can't make. Without cheese, you cannot do it. So it's something like give and take lah. We need bit lah. Not say we want so many farms in Singapore. At least, should I say, 10%? Not more. 10%. I think it's quite okay already.